because I don't think that you have much experience with woks, I want you to get your aromatics into the oil before you turn the oil on. If you've got a lot of experience with woks, then you can preheat it a little bit, but make sure that you understand that the oil is going to get really hot really fast, and things are going to burn really fast once it's preheated. Your wok tools should be right next to you. Now, we're going to turn on our wok. We turn it all the way up at first, which is going to be very, very high heat. And then you can adjust it down, because at this point you're more or less sweating vegetables like you would for a meal pot. Okay? I don't want it to get away from you and scorch. You're going to keep your nose open. When you smell the ginger and garlic starting to cook, then you know that you can add your next ingredient. In this case, in all cases, we're going to go from the most dense or longest to cook to your softer vegetables. So the next thing that's going to go in here will be the mushrooms, because that takes a little bit longer. Okay, I can smell the garlic being ready to cook. I know that mushrooms suck up a lot of oil, so I'm going to add a little bit more oil to this. I know that the mushrooms are going to be a little bit cold, so I'm going to increase the heat. I add in my mushrooms. My heat is up pretty high. If it starts to dry out, maybe the mushrooms are a little dry, you can add a little bit more oil. That's up to you, but just don't make them greasy. And you're watching to see when the mushrooms start to wilt a little bit. This is a lot like a saute action. Okay, the mushrooms are starting to get a little soft. You start to see them giving up some of their moisture. So it's time to add your next vegetable. That's your cabbage. It's important to get the cooler vegetables towards the bottom and the cooked vegetable off of the bottom so that that doesn't scorch. You need to keep things in constant motion, and you've always got a little ally of water that you can put a spritz in to keep things from scorching, and also to help to melt your vegetables, to wilt the cabbage, for instance, a little bit more. A little bit. We add in our other moist ingredients, which are bean sprouts, rehydrated fungus, and lily blossoms. Really, these just need to be heated through. While we're waiting for those to heat through, it's a lot easier if we put all of our sauce ingredients, our hoisin sauce, our vegetarian oyster sauce, and our paste into one container. The sesame oil can go in there too. Now, noodles will go in, just to reheat those. Now our sauce ingredients go in. On day one, I like to see all the ingredients individual, but subsequent to this, you can start mixing them together so that it's easier to get them out of the cups. Okay, now, I'm going to turn down my heat so that I don't burn anything during this next step. Push everything down into the center of the wok. Put a little bit more oil around the back edge. The back of the wok is always going to be the hottest. Take my raw scrambled eggs, run them across the back of the wok, and they're going to drizzle down and cook like a little curtain. If they don't cook all the way, I just push them up until they do. At this point, they're cooked. Everything else in the wok is cooked. I just need to combine them together. my garnishing scallions, a little bit of fresh crispness at the end, and you should have a warm hotel pan that we can transfer these into, okay?